Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, everybody, welcome to your GIVeconomy sync on January 12th. I put 2023. Wow, time's going by really fast. Cool, let's just start with intentions and distractions. My intentions for the call are really just to go through the board and also spend some time just coordinating around givebacks, making sure that everything is kind of like aligned, like checking fraud and then doing the test distribution, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's all for me. I'm not distracted except for I'm missing my headphones, and I don't like listening on my computer speakers. You know, you guys get it. Cherrick gets it. Marco gets it. I'll pass it to Cherrick.
Yeah, thank you. My intention is sync up and maybe talk about the merging TypeScript project, planning about merging TypeScript project and GIVeconomy project. Maybe if we can, because it has some improvements for user experience. Also, I think it's. I like to talk about the trust issues. Yeah, that's my intentions, and maybe I don't have any distractions. Excuse me. I pass it to Mohammed.
Hey everyone. Last few days I was working on the give back calculation and detecting fraud and misdonation and something like that. My intention for the next week is to improve getting give prices to support mainnet transactions, and that's it. I think there is nothing to do for me in the next week, but I'm here to see if I can work on the GIVeconomy. I do that. I take it. I pass it to, and I have no distraction. I pass it to Mitch.
Good morning. Yeah, just here to learn about givebacks. What's the status? Can we push them out? What needs to change? And do we have a Pable? No. Documentation would be cool too. But I'll pass it to Willie.
Thanks, Mitch. GM, everybody. I am just waking up, so forgive me. I haven't had any coffee yet. Intention is to sync up with everybody and hear the updates, and then can chat about the stream as a service, this multiverse concept if there's time and if people are interested. And then that'll be my intention for this week too. If people like it, trying to working with Monstrosity and anyone else who wants to help just kind of run this concept past other projects, cool projects that you might be interested in working with, and getting their initial reaction to it. And who has not gone yet? I joined late. Griff, have you gone? I'll pass to Griff.
Man, so excited about all of these topics, givebacks especially. I really just diving into checking out, doing some spot checking for fraud. Really excited to see our first givebacks round go out. Yeah, and basically every topic, Taurus wallet integration, I've seen those problems and they sound horrible. Very excited to see what the Taurus guy had to say last hour. And give his stream as a service. That's super cool. Yeah, maybe an update on token swaps, and yeah, and anything else that is exciting. There's so much. I don't know how we're gonna fit it all into one call. I'll pass it to Marco.
Thanks, Rafe. Hi, everybody. Intentions for this call for me is basically just to see if there are any design implications on any of the topics we'll be discussing today. And no distractions. Pass it over back to you, Lauren, if everybody's gone. Or no. Oh, we have many other people here, I see. Monique?
Everybody, just to think with you about what we have to change for DApp right now, and yeah, for heads up for some issues. And I pass it to, I guess, did you go on?
August, we're just doing intentions and distractions. Do you have any intentions, distractions for the call? Okay, cool. Let's pass it to Ashley.
Hey guys. Yeah, intentions for the call. I just want to see kind of the status of givebacks. I don't know if Mitch has made the spreadsheet yet, or Griff, if you're doing like spot checking for fraud, I'd love to be involved. Yeah, and just kind of sync up on some of the other things that are happening and that we're moving forward on. And I'm not really distracted. I will pass it to Mateo.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, many topics to be sync on. Really interested in the givebacks, and maybe just give an update or what the Taurus dev told me just in the meeting. So because it's related to the DApp and the GIVeconomy dashboard. So yeah, that's it. Really interested in all of it. I'll pass it. Amin, have you gone?
Hi, Amin.
Postman came and I had to get some package. Yeah, my intention is call is to see what we should do, the rest, and what's implemented, and talk about the integration. You know, the Giveth.io, GIVeconomy. Maybe we could merge this project together. And as it's I think it's almost complete. GIVeconomy. We don't need to add any feature. Just few small changes will happen to the front end. So I in Zurich, we can start and creating a new repo, which will have the GIVeconomy and merge the code from TypeScript, Giveth.io TypeScript inside. We can discuss it later. I pass it back to Lauren.
Let's sing it to Pavle.
Sorry, everyone. I was a bit late. So my intention from this call is to see if there's anything else that's needed to support the audit effort. So besides the ongoing documentation, and that's about it. I would also like to see what else I can help out with. And I pass it on to, I don't know, back to you, Lauren.
I think that was everyone. Yep. Looks like everyone. If I'm wrong, tell me. Okay, cool. Great. Cool. Let's, I think we got some great agenda topic items. I want givebacks to get out the door first. So let's just have this discussion on givebacks on what things need to be done. I know that Mitch created the spreadsheet. I just saw it this morning, but maybe he posted it last night. So it has all of the givebacks things. So Griff, we're gonna work on checking fraud, or Ashley, or what's the next steps for reviewing this and making sure that everything checks out okay?
Yeah, I mean, first glance it looks fine, but I think if Ashley, if we want to hang out and hack on it together, we could. I think, morning calls are going to make it not happen until tonight for me. But just looking at the transactions and trying to look for the source of the funds and seeing if they're coming from something weird like Tornado Cash, or if they're coming from a wallet address that is, we know it's just making sure that people aren't recirculating their donations.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take a look at the spreadsheet and the data during the day today, and then maybe we can have a short hack session tonight and kind of come together on the things that we each found, and you can kind of show me maybe some of your secrets of seeing where all this stuff is coming from. And yeah,
totally
good.
Okay, cool. And then so are we gonna do a test, distribute this with drgive, distribute drgive with this distribution, just to make sure that it works?
Yeah, we could totally do that. It'll add another day, right? because of the.
We could do it today. I mean, Ashley and Griff are going to take the day anyway to review for fraud. So we could like set it up today. So it doesn't really matter if it's a little wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd like to just make sure it works with the voting app. So I think that's worthwhile. So we'll use the script that was currently in the data review sheet. Well, at least all those addresses. And I'll make the vote after this call. And then everyone will need to vote on it because we'll need like, what, 20% quorum in 24 hours?
Mm-hmm. Damn. So this is,
only 4 people need to vote.
Okay. Are these the same settings as we're going to be using for like the real one? Like it's 20%?
We'll use the real one.
Oh, we use the real one, but it distributes DRGIV 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Awesome. Ooh. Okay. Is there anything else outstanding for givebacks that we need to review? Like anything about like trace or any like weird purpleless tokenless stuff that anybody else has on their radar that we need to check in on? No? Okay, cool. So review for fraud, Mitch does the test distribution, and then tomorrow could we like if everything checks out, looks good, feasibly we could do tomorrow or Friday, do the final distribution and have it sent out by the end of the week. Great. Cool. Cool. All right, that seems like all for givebacks. Let's talk about the Taurus issues, this Taurus integration stuff. I guess Mateo was on a call. I don't even know all the issues that are arising.
Yeah, so essentially there were some problems on Brave browser to log in with using Taurus. So essentially is that the shields sometimes get like too heavy, protecting from cookies and all of that from third party. So that's a configuration that so far the user have to make themselves. We cannot control that programmatically. And they said that they are working on it. Hopefully soon they will have a solution so they stop using cookies and the local storage like that, so they can bypass it, at least for Brave. So for now, their suggestion is that we make at least the user aware when they are trying to log in with Brave using Taurus. So they lower their configuration on the Brave shield, or at least accept the cookies for a couple of addresses. They can choose which option is better for them. So I suggest that in their flow for both economy and the DApp, we make a little pop-up or something as soon as they click on Google or Twitter or whatever, and they say, and it says and link to a post as a tutorial. Hey, lower your shield. You are using Brave. If you want to use Taurus, you have to do such and such. And that for now. I'll try to make sure when they have a solution, we remove it. But that's all the options that we have for now.
Okay, that sounds good. So I guess we're just like, it's just easy. We can implement like a modal, and if we implement it in the DApp, we have to also like separately implement it in the economy, right?
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a Taurus issue, they have probably this issue on any application when user use Brave. So why don't ask them to have such pop-up? Say, oh, you're using Brave to this. It's their fault.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, they can't suggest their users to stop the shield because they provide it as a feature.
I think also like we're working in comms to do some documentation, like tutorials for Taurus users to import their wallet into MetaMask and things like that. And this is something that we could like incorporate in documentation, and maybe it doesn't necessarily need to be like as a part of the DApp. It could just be, you know, like a little tutorial.
Yeah.
I kind of a hard time because it's like it's not obvious how to fix it. And so, like, getting them to go to the documentation, they're probably just going to come to Discord and ask sooner than going to the documentation. So without having it built into the DApp, I think we're creating a lot of overhead for ourselves.
Yeah, we already have a modal with both MetaMask and all the other Web2 options. So maybe a little message in there, we can add it. It doesn't have to be so lousy. It can be just be sure you have your shield ready or whatever.
Yeah, lower your shields. We mean no harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it could link to the documentation, so we can add a little piece in there and read more.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I guess we need like 2 separate issues for this, like one for the economy side and one for the DApp side. Actually 3 and one for the comm side. Cool. Okay. So also with the Taurus integration, we had some issues before that Vitor was sort of working on, but I don't really know. I asked him like to follow up, but there were these like the Switch wallet thing, Switch network thing doesn't work when you're connected with Taurus. Like, so if you're on mainnet and you connect with Taurus to claim your give drop, it says like switch network to XDive, but you have to go into Taurus to switch your network. You can't just click the switch network button. So I don't know if there was like any work done on this. I don't know if if Vitor put anything through, or maybe I just need to push him on it.
No, he didn't update me.
Okay, cool. I'll just have to follow up with him then. Is there anything else on the Taurus issues that wanted to be discussed?
Just about not about Taurus, but you have mentioned the formative as wallet will be added, right?
What?
Another wallet. What was the name? Formative. What was the name, Marco? Fortmatic. What was another?
Yeah, Fortmatic.
Fortmatic. Ah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's we have I discussed with Chorik, and we have a discussion with Rami before about another alternative for onboard.js. So it would be better if we spend more time on replacing onboard.js because it's so heavy bundle, and after we want to merge 2 products, the Giveth.io TypeScript and GIVeconomy, maybe we need to we will need to change onboard.js with the vector React. So instead of spending time on onboard.js, it's better to define another issue for replacing the onboard.js with vector React.
With web.
3-React. Yeah. It's lighter and more configurable, and you can enable just wallets that you like, and the bundle size will be different.
Cool. So we need to do this on the economy too.
Yes.
Okay. So I can make an issue for that. Is that something you want to be working on,
I can do it. You can do it. A junior developer even can do it. But yeah, Pedro is here. Pedro was working on adding Fortmatic. So if we assign to him, I think he has enough bandwidth because it's almost a single issue that he has, as far as I know. Pedro. Yeah, he was modifying the onboard.js. Maybe it was better to stop any further effort on that.
We have issues on TypeScript for him right now.
Oh.
I suggest. We can comment there.
That what?
About the whole structure of the or the TypeScript is right now is depending on this onboard.js. So if you want to change it, to say it's a huge change,
TypeScript is using Vector React. The new one is using this library, and it's better than onboard.js. So we want to merge.
The issues that we have there for him, and we talk about the details right now, every day. So he's gonna be, confused right now. So we have to, go ahead with that issues that we have right now in the that repo. I suggest, at least for now.
What part he was working on? Onboard.js?
About the header, login, logout, and stuff that was related to registration and login. You can easily, Lauren, I think you can easily filter the assigned by Pedro right now, and you can find what issues I'm talking about.
No, you can assign it to me. No problem. If he's there. Me not sure, yeah. No worries.
Okay.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, just so does that mean that we're changing from Taurus to Fortmatic, or does this Web3 React already has something different, or what are the implications of changing this?
No, it's. Oh, sorry. Can I go ahead? No, onboard.js is some library that bundles every wallet inside. It has Taurus, Fortmatic, probably. I don't know. But Web3 is something like that. It bundles everything. The UI is different. If you see, if you have seen the GIVeconomy and GivethIO TypeScript are different in the menu, the model that switch wallet shows. It shows an array of wallets. They are different in UI. And behind the view, there are different libraries, and they are the Vector React is lighter.
Okay, so got it. Everything remains the same.
More.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Okay, cool. So this seems like a good segue into the thing that both you and Amin and Cherik were mentioning about merging the TypeScript and the GIVeconomy dApps together and making one repo. And you want to say something about that?
I and Cherik discussed it. Maybe Cherik can say his belief. I think that we should, as GIVeconomy is in a stable state, we can create another repo which copies everything from this repo, and we import every views from GivethIO TypeScript there, and have everything in a single repository.
Okay. That sounds good. Wait, so GIVeconomy is gonna be with TypeScript.
GIVeconomy, it's TypeScript.
It is TypeScript.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So with the new TypeScript version of GivethIO, we'll just merge them both, have one repo. I like this. This seems better. This seems like also better for management, for like making the two things come together. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that sounds great. I'm not a dev and I don't understand all the details and nuances. Is there any protests or any additional comments on this? Cool. From a top level standpoint, sounds great. Great, do it. Should I make an issue?
It will be an epic. Basically, we will add issues, but the first thing is to create the new repo. Then we can add issues
about having one UAT. I think below that issue, we can add a checklist. Have one UAT for. Did you remember, Lauren? We have that issue.
Oh, there is.
It was having one UAT for GIVeconomy and that.
Oh wait, I need probably TypeScript, right? It's in TypeScript.
No. It was in GIVeconomy.
What was it called?
UAT maybe.
No.
Oh, I remember to curate it. Okay, sorry.
I'll make a quick issue. Merge GIVeconomy and TypeScript version of Giveth.io, and I'll just assign Amin and Cherik, and you guys can make this into an epic and add any other issues that make sense, I guess.
I really want to know comments from Matto. Matto, is it good for you? Don't you have any complaints or comments?
No, I'm just thinking about the complexity of doing it, but yeah, I agree. It's not that easy. It just takes time, but it will be better for the long term.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, cool. Let's keep burning through things. This is good. Maybe we can take a quick moment on this documentation for audit. Both Mitch and Pablo, you were mentioning something to do with this. Do you need just a second to coordinate around like what's required or?
Well, we had a nice chat about what we needed, and I even made a nice HackMD with it. But basically, for developer documentation, so what we need to onboard developers into the GIVeconomy development, and so I lost it now. But basically, the smart contract documentation, installing the front end, which I think is done. And then I think, Pablo, you mentioned documenting the giveback script and maybe anything else around that.
Yeah, so that's something that I think that we haven't really taken a look at all, because the idea is that, one, I just want to go through it just to understand how it works. So that's the first part. The second part is to have anybody, just anyone can come in and run the giveback script and understand how it works and understands what kind of output it produces, so that we can sort of remove this dependency to have just Mitch having to run it just in case something goes wrong. So that would be ideal. So I would like to do that, and just in general, just take a look and see if everything is okay. It seems like it is, just from the standpoint that all the values seem to be matching up and everything is fine. But it's something that we need to document. So that's for the giveback script. On the smart contract side, I'm working on that right now. I took some time to just figure out how we're going to like document and diagram everything, and I have something set up so we can keep moving. Also, since there is an audit happening, if there is any communication from the auditor, we can prioritize that to like go and explain any part that's still missing. I mean, the only part that is confusing, it might be confusing to somebody looking from the outside, is one, which are the contracts that are not being deployed and they're just for testing. Two, since there is a bunch of token contracts that are in our repo, like we need to make sure to explain which one of them is used for what. For example, why do we have that Uniswap fake token? How does it play into the UniV3 staking initiative? Incentive. And is there like, what is the give token and how is it deployed and so on and so forth. So that's the part that I'm working on right now. I might actually benefit a little bit from your input, and when you give the time. And that's the main thing regarding smart contract documentation. Obviously, the last thing is just deployment. Deployment right now is kind of a mess, but we can decide exactly how we're going to fix it, or if we're going to fix it right now, since everything is kind of deployed already. So that's pretty much everything. Okay?
Okay, cool. It sounds good. So, I mean, it sounds like you just need some feedback from Amin, and you're writing documentation about the smart contracts, and Mitch is writing documentation about other related things.
Yeah, we need to remove many of the smart contracts, I guess. And for the tokens, we have variety tokens. We are right.
Okay, then I mean, can you work with Pavle maybe and just like coordinate and remove the ones that are like redundant? This audit report would be nice to have, because we want to give it to Gemini and then get Give listed on Gemini. It'll be good, like, to give credibility, and then also people will be able to donate it to the other projects. So, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Okay, so then the other two points for the token swaps update and the documentation for the audit. The stream as a service concept. So I would love to leave some space for those ones, but I'd also love to burn through some issues on the board and just like make sure that we're all synced up on this. So I'll try to get through this in the next like 5-6 minutes and then give it a little bit of time to Willie and Griff. So I have a question. I didn't actually get through testing all these issues, but I just wanted to make sure that like all of the PRs are merged in on staging.giveth.io, right? Staging.giveth.io. Okay, cool. So I can go through and test all of these issues that are in UAT testing. And I mean, I guess Ashley and Mitch, if you have space and more time and you want to test them, feel free as well.
Especially sorry for telling that it wasn't professional, I think, but this week, because most of the changes were for responsiveness and fix a bug, we fixed a bug for the APR and the US dollar value is added. We merged that to the main branch, but after this, you're right. You can this time you can even test on the production branch.
Okay, so everything should be on production.
Now it is, but it's not as it should be. But this week, yes, because
okay,
we have an issue, as I said, and the prices were ready to launch, and it wasn't a huge change.
Okay, sounds good. No worries. Okay, so just going through them quickly. Griff, I made a comment on this issue. We have the API, the link for the circulating supply is working and good now. So if you wanted to like relay that to your contact, you can do so.
Okay, fantastic.
Cool. USD prices of tokens is saved in the database correctly. I think I can just move this to done, right? Mohammed
was working on it.
For it's for the round one is okay, but we don't have any automatic solution for all tokens. We have it for Give token, but for other tokens we don't have any automatic solution. You can move it to done because it was for
the other tokens.
Sorry, Mohammed.
Well, the only the only other token. Okay.
Sorry, real sorry. I remembered Mohammed said that on mainnets we had problems. We had
no, I changed it manually, but I'm working on it for making it automatic. But for first round, it is fixed now. All donations are fixed for first round.
Okay. So I will just leave it here because it still has some outstanding action items. I guess I'll just move it back to sprint backlog. The voting app that can control the distributor for givebacks. This is done, right, Mitch?
Sorry, there's some noise here. What did you say?
The new voting app to control the distributor. That's done.
Yep.
Give curation spec is in progress. Update Etherscan and Blockscope for token. I need to follow up on CMC. I'm working on. Okay, cool. That's all that's in progress. Azure server upgrade and subscription.
I don't know about upgrade, but I told Willie yes. Willie is here. Yeah, it will be in about 1 week. No, Willie should do that because I don't have access. I don't have billing information. But Willie is here. Whether Willie should be. What do you think, Willie?
Yeah, I can confirm I should still be able to log in. I'm pretty sure I have all that login information and stuff in the 2FA still. What do you need me to do in there?
The subscription, it was for 1 year. And it was free. We had some credit because we are non-profit. But at the end of the year, we should reapply to extend that.
Oh, cool. We can apply for extension. Cool. I will get that in there.
Thank you.
Sweet.
You bet.
Great, thank you. Okay, improve Taurus wallet integration. Make onboarding onto the Give farm much easier.
I just added a few lines of the environment variable we should set to run the application.
So it's done.
It's on the yeah.
Givebacks page is missing design notes. Make a config file for the purpleless, and I think that this is like not really okay. Auto report for Gemini. Harvest modal is a bit long and crazy. I guess Marco, you're working on these designs, right? Oh, cool. Is this issue clear, Marco? It's so the harvest modal, I mean, it has like many different parts to it and it's a little long and crazy. So we were talking about, there's a lot of detail in this issue. We were talking about like maybe just making one number at the top showing the total cumulative amount and then smaller having the breakdown of like where it's all coming from. We can work on this together. If you have any questions, I can kind of like explain a little more what the issue is saying, but
it's on my list. I'm aware of it.
Great. Givebacks process and testing. Add yarn build to CI of this repo.
Yeah, sometimes we do a mistake in in the code and push. It will be cool if at least one yarn build, some build do before any push to the main production, to be sure that the pushed code will be built and will be deployed by the Vercel. Mohammed has experience and he accepted to do that.
Okay, so he's on it. So put in the sprint backlog. New complete profile modal. So Monique, you made this issue. I don't really understand it.
Sorry, it was for TypeScript. I think I transferred it to the TypeScript, but it's still here. I can't delete it.
Oh, do you want me to transfer it?
Yeah, we have it on the TypeScript.
Oh, you do? Okay. Sorry. So I'll just close it.
Sorry.
Top up the XTI token distro to what it would be if it had 920 million. I think maybe this is... Okay, Griff is going to make a forum post. And then there's these issues, Marco, which are like just design things. I think that you are aware. They were your ideas to add the GIVeconomy video to the overview page and to improve the Give farm page with buy, give more prominent.
Yeah. I just finished compiling a huge list of design tasks, so I'm aware of all this stuff.
Okay, great. So I won't bug you about them right now.
Just keep it. Yeah, just keep it there.
Cool. Project verification, type form, link change. Oh, I think this was Forrest, but we asked for clarification and responded. Change people's addresses, could include make API endpoints, give back dashboard, change onboard.js, merge, GIVeconomy. Okay, yeah, great. We've done everything. We've talked about all of these issues.
You escaped the USD value of tokens.
Oh no, I didn't. We talked about it. You want to talk about it some more?
No, on the UI. In the UI, I mean.
That's in UAT testing. I didn't go and test it yet. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I didn't go through any of the issues in testing because I didn't test any of these issues.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the color I think is not so visible. Can you open the page to see how it's shown? I think the color should change.
Sorry, hold on. I have to sign into MetaMask.
I think, yeah.
So, yeah, you mean like here? It's okay.
Yeah, is it okay? Okay. Because based on monitor.
Here is really bad. This is terrible. Yeah, we should definitely change the color. I'll move it back and I'll tag you, Cherrick.
I think design team should tell us which color would be better.
What do you think, Marco? Would white be okay, or should it be like a light gray?
Oh yeah. Well, this is not good. It's not visible at all. Hold on a second. What do we have in the design file? Well, I'm just opening it. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's something super not visible.
Is that white below that added to your give stream flow rate? Is that white or is that a different color?
This is not white. It's
this one.
Gray.
Yeah, let's use this one that is like not completely white, but the same one as it's a primary deep 100. Right, primary deep 100.
Okay.
Sure, Bruno.
Marco's like, it's hashtag B17394.
Okay, I just tagged you, Turk. I'll assign you to the issue and I'll move it back. Cool. Yeah. Were there any other issues in here that you wanted to have any notes on? Or Cherk? Or are they all just like
about that? Its value is so tiny. We say that it's less than 0.0001. And then Cherk, do you like this? It's now if the value is so tiny, we don't show 0. We should say that it's less than. It makes sense sometimes, but when harvest model become enabled, but the value is 0. And when the value is so tiny, less than 0.0001, we say that okay. Can you harvest, Lauren, right now to see?
Yeah, I'm harvesting. It just takes time.
Go ahead. Is your transparent mind? Yeah.
It's taking time.
Can you refresh the page? Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh, I like that.
Again.
I like that. That's good.
Okay.
I think it's good. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, before it was like people were staking really small amounts, and then they're like, "Why aren't I earning rewards? It's always saying 0." So at least like now people are like, "Oh, there's just a little there."
Yeah.
I think it's better.
Yeah. You're right. It's beautiful.
Cool. Okay, great. I think that this is all the issues that are on the board except for testing ones that I will do. Can we maybe give the floor to Willie about Stream as a service?
No. Cool. GM, everybody. This one, we don't have to spend too much time on this. We've talked about it a little bit, and there's a lot of details in this post. But yeah, I think that the core idea here, if anyone hasn't heard about it yet, is to add a new section to the Give farm and Give stream for partners, and enable partner DAOs to launch their own liquidity mining programs with their very own streams. So like if anyone's ever used like Sushi Swap or Pancake Swap or the old Honey Swap when they had a farm, it would be like that, where there's just a growing number of these different farming opportunities. And similarly, on the stream page, there'd be like a growing number of streams for each token that you're being streamed. And these, once, any project that gets a stream, they could incentivize like any kind of pool that, like, just like we currently have. They could do single token staking. They could do liquidity pool tokens. It could be, I could see it as being like an ongoing thing where like a project like Shapeshift, for instance, we started with doing liquidity mining. We launched just on the Uniswap V2. Then, we launched some liquidity mining programs on other
chains like Polygon, HoneySwap. We actually have some Fox set aside on HoneySwap to incentivize the Fox Honey pool, and we're looking for how to do it. So it's like this could be a perfect way to do it because Fox is already earmarked for it, and love the idea of the stream. We've all seen so much positive feedback on the stream. We're about to launch this Angel Vault liquidity mining program. So like even as things evolve, we could keep incentivizing it using the stream, which I just think is so cool because we can have basically like almost 10x the APR that we would normally have, and still have at most the 10% of the same sell pressure. And but I think there's even something more to it. I think even not only is it like have we made vesting cool, which is nothing short of a miracle, but it really actually attracts like the right types of liquidity providers that you want to reward. The big problem with liquidity mining is great unless you have these mercenary farmers who are just farming your token and dumping it. But this really helps combat that because psychologically you're dumping on yourself if you're dumping, right? And so it actually attracts people who are invested for the long term, and it keeps them coming back. The value of having someone come back to your website, every week for 5 years, that's really valuable, especially because all these people who are farming, they're regens, they're degens, they are our target market. And, in 5 years when crypto blows up, they're all going to have a lot of dough to donate, right? So I think it's an interesting concept. And what I think we should do is just talk to some of these projects we're already talking to, talk to Bright ID. I don't know if Monstrosity is on the call, but I would really like to work with Monstrosity with this because he's working with, One Hive team, Elk team, I think Agave. He's working with a number of projects, and he had kind of inspired this idea because Elk is doing a lot of these joint liquidity mining programs, and that could be one. We don't have to do it. But we obviously, if we were to do a joint liquidity mining program with Elk, he had asked, could they tap into the stream because they think the stream is cool, and sure enough, Amin confirmed that the farm and the streams are all basically designed for this, and it's relatively low lift for us to add a new farm and add new tokens to the stream. And if that's the case, if we see interest from these first few, then we could get into the routine of really easily spinning up these new farms. We could potentially charge for it. I think like asking a project for like 1% of their liquidity mining rewards, we should talk to them and see what they think about that. But I think that could be justified, especially because again, it's not, it's going into our treasury. Obviously we're probably not going to dump it. We should, it's up to the community, but it's better if we just hold these tokens in our treasury. And it's like they're, it's like for good. So I think that can really help us too. It's like all these projects, it's cool to partner with Giveth. Here's a great way for them to partner for Giveth, where they're not just like giving their money away altruistically, but they're getting something of value for it. And even if it was free, even if we didn't charge for it and we decided to make it a public good, which could be cool too. And I think we'd get a lot of projects on board. It still, I think, would be useful just to have these users coming back to the Give economy for 5 years and seeing on top all of the Give farm opportunities and the future stuff that we do. Once these degens, once they can bet on micro economies and stuff, they're going to see that because they're coming back to the Give stream, right? And hopefully we'll capture them there. So that's the high level concept. Happy to answer any questions on it, but otherwise, please share thoughts in the forum. And I think we're just there's enough support so far that we might as well just run it past some of these projects we're already talking to as we're talking to them about token swaps and see if they're interested in this, because so far the feedback from everyone on the Give stream has been really, really positive.
I would just say that the idea of getting a small percentage of it sounds amazing, and we would just add it to the liquidity pool. We wouldn't sell it. We would just make Give liquidity with that percentage.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And then we have protocol owned liquidity, and it's generating revenues for us for these trade fees. And I think projects would love that. And go ahead.
No, I just want to say this is a great idea. Just overall, I think it's pretty cool, and that we need to expand. And I think we will find projects willing to integrate with Giveth, true, if nothing else, through liquidity mining.
Marco? Thanks.
Yeah. How do I plan to onboard these new DAOs and to create their farms? Is it going to be a manual process that we create that for them and then like just push it on the front end, or do we have some sort of like an interface where they can just add their tokens and like create a pool and whatever?
That's a great question. I was thinking about that last night. I think for these first few, we'd probably deploy it for them and hold their hands. But then in that process, the more self-service we can make this, like whether it's we have a UI or they're just like making a pull request and then we review it and merge it if everything looks good. Like I think, but the more successful it gets, the more self-serve we can make it. But just like with, I think about these other programs like Olympus Pro and Tokamak and stuff like that. And I guess Tokamak, they do the work for you. Some projects, I guess, just do the work for you. Others, and I think that is the case right now for most of them. But then as they validate that there's demand for it, then they can invest the resources in making it more self-serve.
Yeah. All right. And also second part of the same question is like, will there be like a special page for a DAO that gives a little bit more information about it? So that when users come to the farm that can read more about it, where to invest, stuff like that. So just a little bit of background about that particular farm. So do we plan to have like a special page for them?
That's a great question. And I guess I would push it right back to you. I do think though, something that would be useful for these, like if you guys have ever used like a Harvest or something like that, where they have like a bunch of different types of strategies all in one page. That could be useful just to have like a little tooltip thing. And then and at least at the very least, and that tooltip just has a little bit of information around, this is this liquidity pool token on Uniswap. And I do think that would be cool. Just a little tooltip at the very least for each opportunity to show a little bit of information on what's going on underneath it and point people to, I guess we already have the links to go provide liquidity. Those are good questions for sure.
So if we're providing the stream as a service, but it's open source, right? Because everything is open source, what would prevent them just from forking the stream and then just deploying it themselves?
Just the level of effort to do it. I mean, same with like Olympus bonds, right? Anyone could go fork Olympus Pro. But for us, Shapeshift is paying 3.3% of fees for all the bonds that we sell just to Olympus Pro. And a lot of projects are doing that because for every project, it'd be so much easier for them to work with Giveth than to deploy this themselves, have their, fork it, have their own UI, UX for it and stuff, and incorporate it into their app. Instead, they can just transfer some funds from their treasury, which all these DAOs have a ton of, and then we'll do the lift. And it's much easier for us to do it than for another DAO to do it themselves.
Dev and project management scarcity is real. You just can't take on another project, and we already know how to do all this. Someone learning it is like, no way. I would never. If there was like, if someone was like, hey, we should just build our own Olympus bond thing, and all the code is open source, here it is, I'd be like, I hope we would be like, hell no, because that's way too much work and we have other things to do. So I think it's the same for them on the other side.
Mm-hmm. And there's some cool network effects here. I think, especially because this is like a 5-year thing. It's like every additional project we add, then the whole thing becomes more valuable, and other projects are going to want to get in there. And I think it's really interesting just the timing with Gnosis Chain and the gardens and everything. And if we can get in early and get like a lot of the cool projects on Gnosis Chain that we happen to be good friends with on this started, then all the other cool DAOs that come to Gnosis Chain are gonna be like, we want to give stream, right? This is how everyone's getting liquidity on HoneySwap. And so if we start it now, it could set a really great trend. That eventually, that's what, if this goes well, we could have like we could make it so like all the cool projects, are on the Give farm or at least doing something there. And it's a way for them to both support their own project, but also give back and partner with Giveth, get some cool, positive vibes for their brand.
So if you want to talk about doing this immediately, how does this tie into the Giveth's mission? How does this benefit philanthropic projects, and how does this benefit donors?
Well, yeah, as mentioned, I think the biggest benefit, aside from getting a stream of governance tokens into our treasury, which is great, and it could be a very cool, healthy stream of revenues, that's for the amount of effort we're putting into it. If these DAOs are interested in it, like probably one of the best things we could do in terms of generating revenues in the short term. But aside from that, just getting, all these users are literally target users, right? And right now we only have Give farmers coming to the Give farm. But if we can have other projects pointing their own community members to the Giveth farm, then sticking around for the next 5 years, there's value in that. I don't know exactly what the value is, but I think it's really valuable, honestly, because these are target users, and we'll have their attention, and that's valuable, and we'll have it for 5 years, which is
I think that's the big key. crypto donors are crypto donors, and they're also investors. So if we can get aligned investors and donor crypto people using Giveth have awareness, they will donate on us, right? And of course, getting more liquidity for the Give token is a must. We can't be farming forever.
I don't want to interrupt, but I just want to say that Monstrosity joined the call. He was having trouble getting into the channel, but he's in here now. I know we only have a few more minutes, but.
Was that Monster? Monster, I want to grab time with you outside of this to talk about the Livestream concept and see if we can run it past Elk and some of the other DAOs you're working with. But I know we're pretty much out of time, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this concept.
Yeah, I'd like to see that incorporated in that Gardens idea as well. I think there's some value there for sure.
Sweet. Let's grab some time to think this week.
Okay. So real quick, just Elk Finance is a bridge / DEX. So it's got 16 different chains that are all the chains are EVM compatible chains. And I was just wanting to kind of throw an idea out there of just starting an Elk Give farm. Nothing significant, just a real kind of modest, usually somewhere around like 5K or something like that over the course of a month to incentivize kind of a 1-for-1 matching. So Elk would match Give, whatever Give puts in, Elk would kind of match that. And the idea is there would be some exposure across all these chains in that community and kind of bridging the communities together. Nothing significant, but usually what Elk does is even after the boosted rewards are expired, they continue to kind of incentivize that pair, just kind of continuing that community bridge. So I want to throw that idea out there with the Give community, see if you guys were interested in doing something like that. Did you guys have any questions on it? Or
I'd also like to say that people love the Elk rewards and the program that we have set up at Shapeshift too. Monster has been awesome and kind of being a liaison for that. So definitely highly recommend from me.
I'd say for sure, especially if we can do it on the with the Give stream. Which Monster, have you talked to them about the Give stream? And did they express interest, or did you think that they might be interested?
They would for sure be interested in somehow incorporating that. I guess I would need to know more on how that would work. Where how would we do that? I don't know. From a development standpoint, what does that all take to get that working, and what would it look like?
So that's what we were talking about before, but we could basically handle the development part. But to your point, they'd have to point to our UI from their farm section for people to actually, or they wouldn't have to. They could also put it in their UI, but at least to claim from the stream, they'd probably want to point them to our UI.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big challenges from Elk's perspective is like you guys said before, the dev shortage is real. So we're managing over there 16 chains, and it's so the amount of, I don't know how much you guys have spent on Elk Finance, at least on the Gnosis chain side, but you see how much activity is happening just on this one network. Multiply that by 16, it's happening on all the networks. Fuse had a huge explosion of traffic, and lots of work was happening over there. Harmony as well. Kronos was also having lots of, and so it's really hard to. So a lot of the work that's happening from a development standpoint are very much like plug and play. Just it is a Uniswap fork. It's but from just the farming perspective, there's not a lot of UI design going into changing that much. So I think we could probably communicate it through our Twitter accounts, and we could probably communicate it through our Discourse and Telegram. But from a UI perspective, it might be a bit of a challenge unless we did something more significant, like a much larger partnership where we actually dedicated, quite a bit of resources from both ends. And then I think, a development perspective might be on the table for trying to bring that in. But I think what I do want to say real quick though is like if you guys have something that, like you guys were just talking about, where you provided a service to kind of for these projects to incorporate the Give stream, I think that's something that a lot of projects would be very open to utilizing, even if there was like the Olympus Pro 3%, fee. That it just goes back to nobody wants to fork all these things and do all and maintain all that stuff. So if that's something that the Give community would work on, that would definitely get a lot of action for sure.
I know we're tight on time, so I'll be super quick. I think that it would be really awesome to maybe get an AMA to like explore those topics like wherever we could with Elk, like kind of like we did with Shapeshift, and like it would give us like a chance to get some exposure, especially like if we do that token thing. I'd be pretty excited to have Give like do as many AMAs as they possibly can moving forward. So yeah.
So if we did something like.
ups.
Yeah, thank you. If we did something like this, we would definitely have like an AMA. We would do some announcements and try to attract an audience so that we can cover all these topics.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. We're actually 5 minutes over our call time though, so I don't want to make anyone feel hostage. So if you have to go, please go. If you want to stay here and keep chatting, you're welcome to. But thank you for the GIVeconomy call. Super productive, and I'm excited to push the givebacks out this week.
I haven't heard anything.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Real quick, is there a next step on this?
Yeah, you want to just hang and just chat right now, Monstro?
Sure.
Okay, sweet. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.